So, good day everyone. I am James Clark Sibanzon from Group 6. So, this subject is all about theories of crime causation. So, karon nga akong topic is all about enemy theory or Durkheim's enemy theory. So, when we say enemy, it is societal normlessness. So, enemy, when we say enemy, na ay problema sa usa ka society. So, when we say enemy, it is societal normlessness. Kaya ba naman tanong sa society? It is a group of people, group or individual nga na interaction sa usag-usa. Then, normlessness, from the root word norm, na siya standard, rules, and regulation. So, ang normlessness, wala siya rules and regulation. So, walay balaod sa usa ka society. So, siguro na balaod pero dili siya kanang wala na implement og tarong, dili hugot ang pag-implement. So, normlessness musangpot or mo resulta nga ang mga tao is kanang limitless na sila sa ilang mga buhaton or sa ilang mga action. Limitless and uncontrollable na ang mga tao tungod kay wala na may balaod nga mupakgang or mupunish sa ilaha. So, mo na nga enemy is a societal normlessness nga ang society mo resulta sa chaos or sa kagubot. Like, imagine if walay kanang balaod ang usa ka lugar. So, nagud ang kagubot. So, ningon sad si Emil David Durkheim nga crime is a normal part of society. So, ang krimen daw is normal part daw kuno sa society. So, if na society, imposible daw nga walay krimen nga mahitabo kay wala may perfect nga society. O ngayon si Edwin Sutherland nga crime is a social phenomenon. So when we say social phenomenon, nagyod ang krimen ba magbalik-balik dili ta kasabot og kanon sa moabot, pero nagyod ang krimen magbalik-balik. So now unsa may atong buhaton para ma-less or malikyan ang pagbalik-balik sa krimen? So mo nang magbuhat og balaod, then dapat ato sa i-implement og tarong ang usa ka balaod, dapat ato pahutan or dapat mag-stricto sa usa ka balaod. Kay if wala manggoy balaod ang usa ka society or sa ka community, mahimo nga nagyud ang chaos or nagyud ang kagubot. Like for example, sa usa ka barangay walay balaod or walay nagpatuman sa balaod. Like for example, ang kapitan, mga kagawad, bisan ang mga tanod, if walay mga tanod, so nagyud ang kanang kagubot. Then like for example sa eskwelahan pod, if walay rules and regulation nga tumanon, so dili unite, walay pagkahiusa, so nagyud kagubot. So siguro kanara ang enemy theory. That's all. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Vince Hermoso, the reporter of Theory of Social Anomia. Theory of Social Anomia. The idea of anomia means the lack of normal, ethical, or social standard. This concept first emerged in 1893, which French sociologist Emile Durkheim. Basic concept of social anomie is an enormous gap between the desires of the individual and its real capabilities to satisfy those desires. Ang pangunahing konsepto ng social anomia ay isang napakalaking agwat sa pagitan ng mga pagnanasa ng individual at ang mga tunay na kakayahan nito upang matulungan ang mga pagnanais na iyon. When an individual is the one who gives or who carries out its social obligation in accordance with his social role and the social environment does not give any feedback on his conduct, this will result in the alienation of the individual. Kapag ang isang individual ay ang pagbibigay o nagsasagawa nito ay mga obligasyong panlipunan alinsunod sa kaniyang panlipunang panuntunan ay hindi nagbibigay ng anumang puna sa kaniyang pag-uugali. Ito ay resulta sa pagkahiwalay ng individual. To the individuals, it will not be clear why he is doing social useful activities when he knows he could opt for other model of behaviors that is apparent, easier, and does not require any effort. Sa mga individual ay hindi magiging malinaw kung bakit siya gumawa ng mga aktibidad na kapakipakinabang sa lipunan kung alam niyang maaari siyang pumili ng isang model ng pag-uugali na maliwanag na mas madali at hindi mangangailangan ng anumang pagsisikap. The process of social interaction is based on reciprocity of care, attention, and trust. Social anomia is also happen when old rules or values are not longer relevant and new values or role are in direct conflict with old rules and values. Ang proseso ng pakikipag-ugnayan sa lipunan ay batay sa katumbasan ng pangangailangan, pagdalo at pagtitiwala. Nangyayari rin ang social anomie kapag ang mga lumang panuntunan o halaga ay hindi na nauugnay at ang mga bagong halaga o panuntunan ay direktang sumasalungat sa mga lumang panuntunan at halaga.
Good day everyone, I'm Justin Asma and my topic is all about self-derogation theory. Self-derogation theory suggests that juveniles with low self-esteem may engage in delinquent behavior as a way to improve their self-image. While the relationship between low self-esteem and delinquency is well documented, the idea that delinquent action can enhance self-esteem remain uncertain. This study investigates the condition under which delinquency may positively affect self-esteem using multivariate regression analysis and panel data. It explored the interaction between self-derogation, delinquent behavior, and changes in self-attitude over time. Ang self-derogation theory nagpasabot nga ang kabatanunan nga adunay ubos sa pagtan-aw sa ilang kaugalingon posibleng magbuhat og dili maayong nga binuhatan aron mapalambo ang ila self-image. Nya ang relationship between self-esteem and delinquency kay nakadokumentado na. This study investigate sa condition nga dili maayo nga binuhatan mahimong makaapekto positibo sa pagtanaw sa kaugalingon. The study found that delinquent behavior can enhance self-esteem primarily among youth with extremely low esteem and high self-esteem needs, with this effect lasting 1.5 to 3.5 years. Unexpectedly, delinquency occasionally boosts self-esteem even in individuals with very high self-esteem. The study nga nagpakita nga dili maayo nga binuhatan makapataas sa pagtanaw sa kaugalingon. Labi na sa mga batanon nga grabe kaubos sa ila pagtanaw sa ila kaugalingon nga dunay dako nga panginahanglan sa nga mapalambo kini. Ang epekto niini magpadayon sulod sa 1.5 years to 3.5 years. This study revisit Kaplan's self-derogation theory of delinquency using latent growth curve modeling or LGM to address limitation of earlier research analyzing data from the youth in transition study. The research analyzing data from the youth in transition study, the findings support the theory showing that delinquency is linked to increased self-esteem in adolescent boys with initially low self-regard. Additionally, self-esteem was found to have moderate but significant negative effect on future delinquency even after accounting for prior delinquent behavior. This study gibalik og study ni Kaplan ang self-derogation theory gamit ang latent growth curve modeling or LGM aron masulbad ang mga limitasyon sa mga naunang pagtuon pinaagi sa pag-analyze sa data gikan sa youth in transition study. Ang mga resulta mipakita nga nagsuporta sa theory diin ang delinquency adunay connection sa pagtaas sa pagtanaw sa kagalingon sa mga batang lalaki nga ubos sa ilang pagtanaw sa kagalingon sa sinugdan. Kaplan's self-derogation theory of delinquency 1975 posit that individuals have a fundamental need to maintain positive self-esteem motive often developed within conventional social groups such as family and mainstream friendship. Ang theory ni Kaplan sa self-derogation theory nag-ingon nga ang mga tao adunay panihanglan sa nga mapadayon ang positibo sa pagtanaw sa ilang kaugalingon ug malikayan ang negatibong pagtanaw sa sarili. Kung ubos ang ilang pagtanaw sa kaugalingon, sila mapasiguli niini sa panahon nga sa pagkabatanunan kaning motibo nga mapalambo ang pagtanaw sa kaugalingon, kasagaran mo makuan siya ma-enhance sa family o sa friendship.
Good day, sir. This is my report, interactional theory. Interactional theory offers a grand explanation for the cause and consequence of involvement in antisocial behavior. When first proposed by Thornberry in 1987, it primarily focus on delinquency and drug use during adolescence and early adopter. The theory proposed that delinquent behavior was caused by weak social bonds and involvement in delinquent networks, but that delinquency also had inward that individual in deviant networks and behavior gradually involved over the life course as a function of this reciprocal process. Interactional theory proposed that the fundamental or primary cause of delinquency behavior is a weakness of bonds to conventional society. In this sense, it is variant of social control theory that employ committed to conformity and believe in conveyed national values of unlikely to engage in delinquent behavior. interactional theory is a framework that explain how social influence and behavior in individual characteristic interact to share behavior, especially in the context of delinquency and criminality. This is especially so if one is concerned with explaining persistent and serious delinquency rather than isolated no pattern acts of delinquency association with delinquent first and the learning environment they provide are the primary mechanism for cultivating both delinquent beliefs and delinquent behaviors. As a delinquency is a learning and reinforced, it is up to become a stable part of the person. Referred to this point, interactional theory is a bit similar to the integrative control theories described early. It differs from those models in three fundamental respects. First, it does not assume as many control based theories do that variation in the state of the bond just happens. This is our
Good evening everyone, this is my report. Self-control theory. A self-control theory of crime often refers to a general theory of crime. It's a criminological theory about lack of individual self-control as the main factor behind criminal behavior. Self-control theory of crime suggests that individuals over inevitably parented before age of 10 develop less self-control than individuals approximately age over raised with better parenting. So ang self-control theory, ang law of self-control mga below 10 before 10 na mga kubos pa kailangan pa sila og kuhan sa ginikanan. The theory was originally developed by criminologists Travis Searcy and Michael Gottfriedson, but has since been subject to a great deal of theoretical debate and a large growing empirical literature. So ang ingon ni Gottfriedson of ni Searcy, self-control comprises purpose that individuals with close self-control or more prone to commit crimes. So ang mga below 10 mga mga murag minor edad kailangan pa og gabay sa mga magulang. The general theory of self-control stated in Gottfriedson and Searcy 1990. The general overviews has spawned a broad array of research and debate. This general theory provides scholars with a set testable proposition. The first position outlines the dimension of self-control. Gottfriedson and Searcy 1990 argued that lack of self-control is not only the cause of crime, but the lack of self-control also causes the analogous behaviors. Si
So let's proceed to culture divines theory. Charlene is experiencing what sociologists Clifford Shaw and Henry Mackay called cultural divines theory. So what is cultural divines theory? So cultural divines theory usa ka sociological theory nga nag-ingon nga ang kriminalidad o kanang dili angay nga pamatasan nagikan sa pagtuo o kanang gawi nga nalahi siya sa pangkalahatan or katibuk-an nga culture sa usa ka society. So the theory states that the individual is not responsible for their divines as much as the community within which they reside. So for example, in communities with high poverty levels, engaging in criminal activities may be seen as a normal or acceptable way to survive. In the 1930s, Shaw and Mackay were tasked by the Illinois Institute on Juvenile Research to determine causes of crime in Chicago neighborhoods, starting with a circle in the city center. So they drew concentric circles surrounding that which extended to the most distant suburbs. So in 1930s daw kuno gisugo sila Shaw and Mackay aron masabtan kung unsa jud di ay ang hinungdan sa usa ka krimen sa Chicago. So nakita nila nga ang krimen kasagaran makita sa mga pobre or walay panagiusa anang lugara. Then they drew in the area of highest crime in the Chicago are. So they determined that the first circle out from the center contained the highest incidence of crime and that crime statistics in this region were relatively stable over time. So sa ilang pagtuon nakita nila Shaw og Mackay nga ang zone of transition mao ang lugar nga naay pinakataas nga case sa crime. Even sa pag-usab sa usa ka populasyon, nagpabilin gihapon nga taas ang krimen anang lugar ug dili kinaiya sa tao nga mao ang hinungdan sa kriminalidad. So criminality is an expression of conformity to lower class subcultural values. So member of the working class commits crime as they respond to the cultural norms of their own class in an effort to deal with problems of social middle class adjustment.
Theory of Feminism. So, ang theory of feminism dapat pantay og rights of treatment ang female o male in every aspect of life. The feminism on crime, causation, and defiance is focusing the role of gender and systemic inequality in shaping criminal behavior and societal responses to it. Kini siya nag-focus po ni siya kung unsay maapektuhan sa gender sa babae. Feminist and school of thought. So there are three feminist schools of thought. First is liberal feminism, second is radical feminism, and last social feminism. Liberal feminism is a branch of feminist theory. It is focusing on achieving gender equality. It's grounded in the principles of individual freedom and human rights, advocating for the removal of barriers that prevent women from participating equally in all aspects of life. Radical feminism seeks to address the root causes of gender equality. Radical feminists believe that gender-based oppression is deeply embedded in the structure of society. Distinction between liberal and radical feminism. So, in understanding, it lies primarily in their approaches to achieving gender equality and their understanding of the root causes of women's oppression. While both aim for gender equality, they differ in their methods, focus, and the scope of societal change they advocate for. So in conclusion, liberal feminism seeks gender equality through reforms within the current political and legal system, while radical feminism views patriarchy as a fundamental issue that requires a complex society overhaul. Social feminism is also known as socialist feminism. It's a branch of feminist theory that combines aspects of both socialism and feminism. Its focuses of connectedness between oppression of women and broader social and economic. Therefore, they believe that the liberation of women is tied to form transformation of society as a whole. Stephen Box and Chris Hale, Female Liberation and Criminality. According to Box and Hale, the increase in female criminality and demancy has nothing to do with liberation and or emancipation. Instead, they noted the increase in female offending is more likely due to poverty and economic precision. Further, they also consider the following aspect as lead to the increase in recording of female criminality. Number 1. Increase of number of female officers as a possible factor of influencing the recording. Number 2. Perception of greater liberation among women has been sensationalized and has sensitized authorities to the problem and lead to a greater likelihood of female offense being. Analysis and discussion. The demand of women for gender equality plays a vital factor in the increase of criminality of women. Gone are the days women are treated by the public, the police, and the court as passive individuals in which should be treated in a chivalrous manner. Woman is now a vogue. If we look around in every places in the world, women is asserting dominance in the public and private sector, and even in the military and police, where it used to be a male arena. As such, the economic marginalization between men and women and the equality society treated led to women the same opportunity with men to commit crime and defiance. In fact, because of their aura, they are even more dangerous than men as they can easily penetrate the corridor of women using their charm. Frida Adler is a prominent criminologist known for her work on female criminality and her influential 1975 book, Sisters in Crime: The Rise of the New Female Criminal. Adler proposed a groundbreaking theory regarding the changing patterns of female criminal behavior, particularly in relation to women's liberation and societal shifts. Her work marked a significant shift in how criminologists viewed female crime, challenging previous notions about women and crime. In conclusion, Freda Adler's perspective on female criminality highlighted the evolving nature of women's role in society and emphasized that as women gained more freedom and equality, they began to participate in a wider range of criminal activities.
Women have bodies to market, so in order to feed their needs, they become prostitute. So in order to para matugunan ang ilahang need, so ilahang ibaligya ang ilahang lawas. Here, they have easy opportunity to make quick bucks or money without sweating it out. So they believe that being a prostitute is easy money and dali ra sila makakita og kwarta nga walay hago. Just like an ordinary workers do. And they can have easily access to such activity because sex is easily well. Shoplifting. So women love shopping if not shopaholic. So when women do not have the means to buy her stuff she loves, shopping provides her the straightforward opportunity to steal. So if walang-wala jud kayo siya, then gusto na niya paliton ang usa ka butang, so shopping provides her the straightforward opportunity to steal. Murder. So this crime that female may commit usually involved with someone with whom she had relationship. So victims are usually with male whom the female had an intimate relationship, spouses or children. So this crime may tabo ra ni siya or if ang usa ka tawo nakaranas og mental illness, sexual or emotional abuse, rejection by family members or peers, and ang financial difficulties kay usa pud na siya kahinungdan nga makakommit og crime.
Differential operation theory. They have 5 types of differential operation theory. First, children as an oppressed group. The theory views children as a subordinate group within society. Adults hold power over children, and this power is often misused to enforce compliance and conformity. Oppression arises from the belief that children are incapable of autonomy and must be controlled for their own good. Second, mechanism of oppression. They have several forms. First, authoritarian control. Adults impose excessive restriction and punishment. Strict discipline, lack of freedom, and micromanagement lead to feelings of helplessness and rebellion. Physical or emotional needs are not met, leaving children feeling abandoned and unworthy. Abuse. Experience of physical, emotional, or sexual abuse profoundly affect children's mental health and behavior. Marginalization. Dismissing children's opinions, interests, or individuality fosters resentment and detachment from authority. Third, opposition and behavioral outcomes. According to the theory, they respond in four main ways. First, passive acceptance. Second, legitimate power assertion. Third, revenge retaliation. Fourth, escape mechanism. They have two influence of social and environmental factors. First, economic inequality. Second, institutional failures. Delinquency as a rational response. So these behaviors serve as a way to regain a sense of control, attract attention, or escape difficult circumstances. First, analyzing juvenile delinquency. It provides a framework to understand why children and adolescents engage in criminal behavior. Second, intervention strategies. It emphasizes the needs for supportive rather than punitive measures. Third, policies development. Calls for child-centered policies that promote autonomy, protect against abuse, and reduce economic and social disparities, and also it supports educational reforms to create nurturing environments that recognize and respect children's individuality. Rehabilitation and prevention. It focuses on rehabilitating young offenders by addressing the root causes of their behavior, and also it encourages community-based intervention that involve mentorship, counseling, and skill building.